Hey guys, how's it going? So, surprise, surprise. Actually, not a surprise if you watched Five Nights at Freddy's yesterday. Huh. Anyway, so today is the much-awaited release of my very first review in my movie review series. And in case you missed my hint all throughout a couple videos, the first franchise I'm going to be doing is the Spider-Man franchise. And I'm going to start with Spider-Man 3. And I know what you're thinking. Jacob, why are you starting with Spider-Man 3? Did you forget how to count again? No. The reason I'm starting with Spider-Man 3 is because I'm going to be doing my movie reviews when I do a franchise a little bit differently. I'm going to review them in order that I like them, so it's almost like a ranking / movie review. So of the 5 Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man 3 is my least favorite. That doesn't mean I don't love the movie. I do. I love all of the Spider-Man movies. But of them all, Spider-Man 3 is the one that I like the least, I guess, is how you would put it. But let's get started right into this. And the way I'm going to be reviewing it is I'm going to start with the bad, the things I did not enjoy about Spider-Man 3. And I'm going to do 5 things, the 5 biggest things I did not enjoy. And then I'm going to go to the good. And it's going to be the 5 things I enjoyed most from Spider-Man 3. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to start with the bad so I can point out the movie's flaws, because it's easy to point out a movie's flaws, and then I'm going to get right into the good, and then you can see that, hey, even though it has these flaws, it's got these awesome parts to it. So, what do you say we get this thing started with the bad? Alright, right away, one of the worst things about this movie is the new Goblin suit. I mean, just look at this thing. It is terrible. I'm sorry, Harry, I don't understand what you did. This is one of the worst Goblin suits we have ever seen. And I said one of. Remember I said that. One of the worst Goblin suit. It's not the worst. It's one of the worst. Remember I said that. Remember. Anywho, I mean, this is just terrible. It doesn't work on any level. And dude, if you were going for a supervillain look, you failed, man. You look more like an extreme sports guy than a supervillain. Shut up! Yeah, sorry, Harry. Man, I really hope that when you lost your memory of that suit. Alright, the next thing that I really did not enjoy about Spider-Man 3 is just how whiny Mary Jane and Peter are. This is a powerhouse couple from the comic books who are constantly supporting each other, and Mary Jane, who he was married to for a long time in the comic books, was always there for him, and he knew that when he came home, she would be there no matter what. And I mean, I'm not knocking Kirsten Dunst, and I'm definitely not knocking Tobey Maguire. I love you, Tobey Maguire. You are amazing. But, I mean, it's like all throughout this movie, Peter takes more of the literal crybaby of this movie, where he's crying all the time, and it's like, why are you doing that, Peter? Why are you crying? You're Spider-Man. And then Mary Jane, she just takes the everything is about me, I'm upset all the time, I can't believe this is happening to me, and it just made her so unlikable. In this movie, I was like, please, Peter, do not get back with her. You can just go find someone else. She is such a whiner. But maybe you should get with her because you're a whiner too, Peter. Maybe that's why the Spider-Man 3 Mary Jane and Peter Parker work together so well, because they will cry each other to sleep. Alright, now the next thing that I really do not like, and it actually it just bugs me, is the black suit design in this movie. They've made it way too complex. You did not have to make the black suit that complex. I mean, look at the comic book suit. It is sleek, it is stylish, it is intimidating, and it's simple above all else. It is a black costume with a white big spider in the middle. And for some reason, they wanted to make it look, I guess, like a corrupted version of his regular suit, and it didn't really work out. It just didn't look different enough to warrant this huge personality change, and it just didn't look cool enough when it comes down to it. And that's what's most important when it comes to superhero suits. Does it look good? And I just didn't think it looked as well as the comic book suit. And if they wanted to go with the corrupted version of his regular suit, they should have just taken a hint from the Spectacular Spider-Man series. I don't know if you guys saw that, but in that show, it starts off looking a lot like his suit. like what the black suit did in the Spider-Man 3 movie. And then it slowly, as the series went through, like that season, it slowly started to lose the webs, and the spider got a little bigger until it became something that looked a lot like the comic book suit. And I actually really liked that idea. And I guess it makes sense that when the suit bonded to him first, it wouldn't look drastically different. But like I said, just do the Spectacular Spider-Man approach. That was such a cool idea. I remember me and my brother Xander, who is a fellow Spider-Man nerd, we loved that so much. We loved the idea of the suit slowly changing into the black suit. Like, that was a really cool idea. And here's a fun fact about the black suit. The black suit is actually not an original Marvel creation. It was submitted in 1982 by a 22-year-old fan named Randy Schuler. And he submitted the idea, and it looked a little different. Like, the white parts were red, and I'm sure there was a couple smaller differences. But he actually submitted the suit idea to Marvel, and they took it, and they just went with it, and they gave it to him in Secret Wars. That's how he got it in the comic book. But you know, I guess I really did not like that suit design. You know, it's really too bad they didn't have like a suit made that looked more like the comic. I mean, I guess they just took what was on hand. I mean, because you'd think if they had a suit that looked like the comics, they'd use it, but I'm sure they didn't. Oh my gosh, they did. It's right here. Proof. Sam Raimi is right there. It's a real picture. It's definitely true. Why did they not use this? Alright, the next thing I did not understand in this movie or enjoy was Eddie Brock / Venom. Now, Topher Grace, I'm sure you're a nice guy, and I'm sure you're a good actor and other stuff, but you were not right for the role of Eddie Brock. I don't know how many people have said it, how many times I've heard it. You were just not right for it. I know there's some people that say, oh, he's kind of like the Ultimate version, and I'm going to go ahead and say this here now for all you to know. I hate Ultimate Comics. There's nothing that came out of Ultimate Comics where I was like, man, we really needed this. I'm glad we have this. Man, thanks, Ultimate Comics. No, Ultimate Comics was just a weird thing. I didn't understand it. Like, why would you do most of this? It's like Ultimate Comics were like a crazy person would come to them and be like, I have an idea where Wolverine goes to the Avengers Mansion and the Blob eats the Wasp and kills her by eating her. And guess what? I did not make that up. That is a real thing that happened in the Ultimate comic book. The Blob ate the Wasp. Like, that's how she died. She was eaten by the Blob. So stupid. So unbelievably stupid. I'm sorry, I'm getting down a rabbit hole here. Anyway, so, Eddie Brock Venom. And just the Venom, even when he became Venom, he just didn't really, his suit, the same thing as the black suit before, didn't really do it for me. The regular Venom is big, and he is scary, and he is awesome, and he actually ate brains originally. Did you know that? Did you know Venom originally ate brains? I bet you didn't know that. Which, I mean, I'm not saying they should have had Venom eating brains, but, I mean, it probably would have been better than what happened in Spider-Man 3, which kind of ate away at my brain, the Venom in that movie. See what I did there? Alright, and the last thing I absolutely despised, and actually you'll see right here in my notes for this review, oh, look at that. That is 100% genuine rage, is making Sandman Uncle Ben's killer. It is so stupid. It comes out of nowhere. It ruins a perfectly good supervillain portrayal in a movie, and there's nothing about the thought process of that I can possibly understand. Like, I can just picture a meeting where they were like, hey, do you remember how in Spider-Man 1 we had this guy, and yeah, let's not forget that guy, the guy that Peter thought killed Uncle Ben, and then Peter accidentally got that guy killed. I mean, whoops, I guess, right? But no, he wasn't the real killer. It's the Sandman. And I really don't understand why they did that. The Uncle Ben's killer thing was fine where it was. It served its purpose. It didn't really, the whole Sandman being Uncle Ben's killer didn't really add anything to the movie. I guess they were trying to use it as that was how Peter let the black suit take over him. But you could have come up with something else. Like right now, I can come up with something else, I guarantee you. Mary Jane leaves him in the movie like she does, and that could be the only factor you need. Mary Jane leaves him, and he's super upset about it, because you would be upset if someone breaks up with you, especially when you've been with him for that long, and he would be upset, and that's how the black suit could have gotten hold. They didn't need the whole Uncle Ben is the killer thing. It's just, oh, that was terrible. Alright, now I'm done bashing Spider-Man 3 because, as I said before, I actually am one of the few people I know that really genuinely enjoy Spider-Man 3. I actually enjoy sitting down and watching the movie. So that means I had a lot of good things to pick from. But my five favorite things from the Spider-Man 3 movie are as follows. The Harry versus Peter fight, the second one they have when he's got the black suit. I don't care. You can complain about that all you want. I know a lot of people don't like it. I think it's absolutely amazing. It is so well choreographed. It's so fun. It's so campy, and it's awesome. And then at the end, it's pretty genuinely cool. Whenever Harry throws the bomb and he just dodges and then throws it back around, that is genuinely cool. And they get some good burns in there too. And I remember as a kid sitting there and I was like, this is crazy. And I went back and rewatched the movie, and I still really enjoyed the Harry versus Peter fight. It's fun. You don't take it for more than it is. Yes, I know it's in a serious part of the movie, but I really think that they use that to be kind of almost like they're poking fun at themselves. I mean, there's literally a part where he goes, "Whew," and I mean, you don't think that they meant that to be funny? You think they thought that "whoo" was going to be like a memorable quote from the movie that people were going to use to inspire rage for years to come? No, they knew that part was going to be campy, and it was exactly what they probably intended it to be. Alright, the next awesome thing, and this part is so amazing, is the black suit montage. And it's going to be playing on the screen right now, and it is amazing. It's kind of like showing you what the black suit, how it affects Peter in his day-to-day life, and it's so perfect. He's using that girl to make cookies for him. He's just being a jerk to people. He's doing the best dance I've seen in years, and he's flirting it on with women. And guess what, guys? To Peter Parker, this version of Peter Parker, who's a super nerd, this is probably his definition of evil. For him, when he thinks evil, he thinks strutting down the street, sliding towards girls. That's probably his version of evil, and it was so great. Watch that scene, and I dare you not to at least smirk a little bit. And that's exactly what the intended purpose was, especially the cookie part. I'm actually going to play that for you real fast. The quick exchange between him and the girl about cookies. It is so amazing, and if it had not been in this movie, the movie would have suffered for it. So here you go. Enjoy.
Hello.
Mr. Parker, Dr. Connors here.
Oh, Dr. Connors. How are you?
Quite a specimen you left me, Parker. Its chemistry is not unlike the chondritic meteorites of the 70s.
Thanks. That's good.
You know what, Parker? Parker?
Give me some milk.
It amplifies characteristics of its host.
Hey, give me another cookie.
Especially aggression.
Oh.
This could be dangerous. Peter, you didn't keep any, did you?
You got any with nuts?
I have some nuts. I could make some.
Go make me some.
Alright, my next thing I really enjoyed is Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman. Even though I did not like how they made Sandman Uncle Ben's killer, I genuinely think Thomas Hayden Church did a very good job as this character. And they really did a good job of showing that even though he's a bad guy, he genuinely cares about his daughter. And that carries over from the comics. And that's all I have to say about that. Alright, and another thing I really, really loved about this movie was the Sandman birth creation scene. It is so, so good. The music and the visuals and just the entire setup of that scene is just beautiful. And here's a quick clip from it, just because me just blabbering on is not going to convey it. You just need to watch a quick clip of this scene. Do you see what I'm talking about? Was that not amazing? The fact that his daughter is the thing that allows him to will himself to carry on, that is great. And it's just an amazing scene and a wonderful idea. Whoever's idea it was, Sam Raimi, I don't know. It might have been Tobey Maguire. I'm sure it was Tobey. I bet Tobey brought a lot of ideas to that movie. A lot of ideas. Yeah, there you go, Tobey. There you go. My thing that I enjoyed the most about Spider-Man 3 was probably Mary Jane being a Broadway singer. I thought she did very well. I thought her diction was beautiful. I thought she kept her voice well, whatever it's called. I thought that she portrayed her voice, and her song selection was wonderful because they say that falling in love is wonderful. Of course not. That's not what I was going to say. The best part of this movie is, without a doubt, J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. The best comic book movie casting of all time. I don't care who you are. It's amazing. He is phenomenal as J. Jonah Jameson. And I'm an avid Spider-Man comic book lover, so I understand that in the comics, he's a deeper character, J. Jonah Jameson is. But for what he was meant to be in this movie, the comic relief, they did so well with J. Jonah Jameson. And I can honestly not imagine anyone that could portray him besides J.K. Simmons. Which, guess what? That's actually why he was not in the Amazing Spider-Man series, which we're going to talk about later. Yeah, they did not want to recast J. Jonah Jameson because they were so afraid of the backlash, because they realized no one can play him besides J.K. Simmons. And guess what, guys? J.K. Simmons plays J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man TV show on Disney. And Disney is making the next Spider-Man movie. So, hey Disney, get J.K. Simmons back, alright? Because I guarantee you, he will want to do it. So yeah, just don't even ask him, just hand him the script and he'll take it from you, okay? We'll keep this between us that this was my idea. You're welcome. Well, there it is, everybody. My review of Spider-Man 3. And see, my grading scale is going to be a little bit different than anyone else's, because some people will do like A, B, C, D. Some people will do like 100 to 0, stuff like that. I'm going to use just one word, like a word or a couple words that I think best describe the movie. And for Spider-Man 3, the word I'd use to describe Spider-Man 3 is a popcorn flick. That's what I would use to describe Spider-Man 3. It is a movie that you can sit down and enjoy and just eat some popcorn to. It's not as good as the other original Raimi films, and you know that's not a bad thing. I mean, sure, I wish it could have been better myself, but for what it is, it's a good movie that you can sit down and enjoy. So there it is, yeah, a popcorn movie. That is my official review, a popcorn movie. Oh, yeah, it's not very professional. I wonder how people are going to respond to that.